So I mentioned visual mnemonics, and what I wanted to tell you is that I want to tell you about what you can do. I told you 6 visual mnemonics. I'm going to go over these again. And I explained how you could put something in a story. You know, you have J. Jonah Jameson, and instead of making this boring, I put something exciting. Put 40 meaning the flood, to show that there's a arc inside this building, a little bit more excitement instead of just a plain boring picture. I'm gonna go and tell you that you could go ahead and add numbers to these, and there are 100 numbers I will explain. So I'm just gonna go off the bat and hopefully you understand them. So there's 101 visual mnemonics that you can use for everyday learning or visualization. So let's go off. So we'll start with 0 again. 0 is a fox, because fox means 0, and actually, yes, fox means zorro. Zorro means fox in Espanol. And zorro sounds like 0, okay? So 1 is a medal for our first place trophy. And 2 is shoe, because you wear 2 pairs of shoes. And so 3 is a trident. And initially I thought pitchfork, but I like trident better because trident is 3. And 4 is a table, because there's 4 legs on a table. And 5 is a ring, for 5 golden rings. 6 is a goose, for 6 geese a laying. Well, you know how well I do birds now. Okay, 7 I put for angel, because for 7 heaven. And I'm drawing them very simple. I do not have to worry about the style of them, just to know what they are. Okay, so let's continue. Do I have another one? Oh, yes, I do have more. 8. So for 8, I put a figure 8 skater. And I'm not going to bother too much about this. Again, these are just drawings that you can use in order to help you with artist block if you forget to draw things. 9 I put for a battery, because of a 9-volt battery. Okay. 10 I put for a dime. 10 cents is a dime. 11 I put for sticks. So again, when you have artist block or don't know what to draw, you can use these. 12 I put for supper, because for the Last Supper there's 12 apostles. And for 13 I put a cat, for black cat for unlucky number 13. But I like cats, so I'll just keep it. 14 I put a heart, for Valentine's Day is always on the 14th. 15 I put a dress for quinceañera. Looks like a shirt, fine. Okay, 16 I put a candle, for 16 candles. Do I have more down here? I have more. I have clover. Okay, 17 I put clover, because St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th. For 18 I put a voting box, because 18 is the legal age to vote in the US. And let's see, do I have one more down here? Yeah, 19. 19 was tricky. Now I'm going to tell you a few numbers that are archaic, so meaning that you don't know them, so because they're outdated. So for 19 I put cereal, because this is, once there was something called Kellogg's Total 19. But that's defunct. So if you have a better one for 19, you're welcome to use it. For 20, I put a payphone. Again, another archaic word. It's the first thing that resonates for me. It's just because that for payphone, it used to be 25 cents, but you actually only needed 2 dimes. So before mobile phones came out, this was what you used. Okay, and that doesn't look like a payphone, but I'm just going to go quickly. Okay, for 21 I put beer. I'm going to use another pencil. For 21 I put beer, because that's the legal age of drinking beer. Okay, so for 22 I put a glove for the Joseph Heller book, Catch 22. So you can have you got baseball in there if you want. For 23 was tricky. So again, I'm going to use something archaic. So I put cable, or it could be rope. The reason why I put cable is because used to be all Max Headroom movie, 20 minutes of Max Headroom, and there used to be a network called Network 23. So that's what I'm using. Cable. Okay. For 24, I put a watch because there's 24 hours in a day. This is a watch. So for 25, I put a present because Christmas lands on the 25th. I don't know how to draw ribbon well, that's fine with me. Present. For 26, I put a box because of Boxing Day is on the 26th. For 27, I put Hendrix. Because of Club 27, you're welcome to use the other ones like Kurt Cobain, or you could use Amy Winehouse. But unfortunately, those were the... He wore T-shades, I think, but he didn't wear glasses. Just, I have on the guitar, too. For 28, put dominoes. Because I think that's the game in dominoes, or maybe that's me, as they are. So 29 is a rabbit because of leap year. I don't draw my critters very well. And they're, okay, so for 30 I put showers. Because 30 days in April. And April showers, May flowers. So I put showers for 30. 31 I put as a jack-o'-lantern. Because the Halloween lands on the 31st. You don't have to do that. I always put drinking glasses because also New Year's Day falls on the 31st. You have tinkling. But I like the using this method because you wind up having a little pictures. For me, it's hard always to start out with something, so I just put numbers in there. So for 32, I put a tooth for wisdom tooth. Because I guess you have 32 teeth. The average adult has 32 teeth. Or your 33, I put a cross because that's the age Christ died, and it doesn't look like a cross. That's fine. For 34, some of these I have a hard time, so I'm going to skip 34. I really forgot what 34 was. 35, I'm going to put the White House, and I'm not going to draw it right because that's the minimum age you can be president in the U.S. is 35 years old. And I'm missing stuff. 36, I call it football. Now, the reason why I call it football is there's 36 inches in the yard, and the only sport I know that uses yard lines the most is football, so that's what I use. So that's for 36. Again, I'm not going to remember all these, so I'm going to skip 37. I just completely blanked out of it. 38 is another one. Okay, so for 39 I put steps because of Alfred Hitchcock. He had 39 steps. So again, instead of having artist block, not knowing what to draw, I'll just put a number and use it. For 40, I did the arc because the flood was 40 days. It's always this tent thing. I have no idea what this was. Okay. And my pencil's going again. Okay, so 41 I put a pearl because that's Pearl Harbor. You can have an oyster shell. I could draw it right. Okay, so 42. 42 was tricky. I forgot what 42 was. Maybe I'll come back to it. No, 42 is Hitchhiker. Because of the book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42 was, I believe it was the universal number, or the number of everything. So that's what 42 is. 43, I had a hard time with that too, so I'm going to cross this one out. Do I have more here? Yes, I do have more. I lost two. Okay, so 44, I put as medicine, named after Vicks 44. All right, 45. All right, well, to be honest with you, I put it after Donald Trump. So for 45, I put as a money bag, just because he's the 45th president. I was thinking 43 as a cowboy hat for George W. Bush. And if you don't like that, you're welcome to use anything else. I don't know how to draw a cowboy hat either. So, now some of these are obscure, and you don't like the number, you're welcome to use something else. So this is a money bag. For 46, what do I do for 46? I'm not too sure. Not too sure what I did for 47. There's a lot of these that I don't remember. Now 48, I put Mexico. But Mexico because of 1848, when the U.S. Annexed more than half of Mexico. So I just put Mexico. Or you can put a sombrero. Anything Mexican related, I put 48. I don't know how to draw a sombrero either. Gosh, my drawings are awful. Is that the best I can do? Yep, that's the best I can do. For 49, I put a pickaxe for minor 49er. For 50, I put the U.S. because there's 50 states in the Union. Okay, for 51, I put an alien or extraterrestrial because of Area 51. For 52, I had trouble with that too. I don't remember what I did for 52. So I'm going to cross this one out. 53 is another tricky one I forgot. 54. Again, I'm going to cross a lot of these out that I forgot. It just doesn't resonate. For 55, I'm going to put oil. Because of 55 oil drum. I guess 55 gallons. Oh, all right. I knew these dumb things. Okay, so 53 was a Volkswagen. Because the old movie Herbie. Again, I really am dating my knowledge, and you're welcome to change these a bit. And I drew this as a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, 54, I put a car for car 54. We're going to do a better job at this one than the other one. Because of this old show called Car 54, Where Are You? And it starred the guy who played Herman Munster. So I don't know what 52 is. 56, I'm totally lost with that. 57, I put ketchup for Heinz 57. Uh, 58, what do I do for 58? I'm not going to do too well with this one either. A lot of these I forget. Sometimes when I have trouble with this, like I don't know 58, I'm just going to add two together. So I'm just going to put ring, and I'm going to put skate. That way, if I don't know it, I mean, it's nice to have a library of little visual mnemonics, but if I don't know it, I could just add these two, ring and skate. So 5 and 8, and draw a picture with that. For 59, maybe that's a classic car. I don't know which classic car came out in 59. A lot of classic cars came out in 59. And my cars are not too well. But that's fine. Who am I competing with? The AI? Midjourney? Of course, it'll beat me up. And I'm just using this for mental block. 60, I put a crown. Because I believe that's, from what I read from Wikipedia, that's some of his main bodyguards that King Solomon has. 61, I put for a wall. Because that's when the Berlin Wall was made. So this is a wall. 62, I put Cuba. Oh, don't even explain to me how I could draw the map. I really don't know how it is. Do they have a, it's like this, right? And one looks like Puerto Rico and one looks like Cuba. Okay, and I apologize. So this is Cuba. Since we're on the county administration, I put 63 as a bullet. Because that's year he died. 64, I put a chessboard. Because there's 64, there are 64 squares on a chessboard, so this is chess. For 65, I put a sunset. Because that's the age of retirement. 66 is a root. I want a root, not a stream. Okay, so this is a root. 67. I have a hard time with this one too. Again, I can not just, if I don't remember 67, I can put a goose. It doesn't even look like a goose. It could be a bird. And an angel, and maybe I can do something with that. Symbolize something. 68. What did I put for 68? I have no clue. Let's cross it out. 69. Well, I just put lips. I think that's all right. You know, that way we all know where that's going. For 70, cross that out, didn't have a good time. 71, again, no. So just put an angel with a medal. And I'm just going to do that. Maybe a war, doesn't have to be metal. Okay, for 72, Uh, well, let's see. Was that the year of the gas crisis? Make it an empty oil. Like a trip, no oil. 73. Again, I have to remember what these are, but a lot of them I forgot. One of them, 74. Now, I don't know, but one of them in economics, make camp is 72, but I'm thinking that this is a rate of in economics where you make double your money. And 75, put a diamond. For 75th anniversary. Okay, 76, it got a little easier with this, a few of these. So for 76, I put a torch, because that's the torch for Statue of Liberty, 1776. 77, put a leaf, because that's the age. That's the number of descendants from Adam to Jesus. 78, I did not know. 79, I don't know either. For 80, it got, again, I'm old, but I remember the 80s well. So 80, I put Pac-Man. So I put a little video game stuff here. And 81 was Donkey Kong. So, doesn't even look like him. All right. And you could chew me out later. For 82, I do not know. I think I put Miss Pac-Man. So I believe that's what came out in 82. For 83, I put a crash. I put plate crashing, because that's a video game crash. For 84, I'm going to put Big Brother then. Lay off video games only once, because that's from the book 1984. Oh, I can't even. Oh, am I going to put him with big eyebrows? Certainly, why not? Doesn't even look like him. All right, for 85, I put Mario. For Super Mario Brothers, that's when I can't. Well, it doesn't matter if I can't draw it, because I'm not here to win with art. I'm just here to win with just memorizing what these symbols are. Doesn't even look like him. Oh, heck with it. All right. And of course, with video games, what am I? Year 86 will be Zelda. That's when Zelda came out. Well, the Triforce, it looks like a radioactive symbol. That's fine enough for me. 87, I am going to put Mega Man, because that's when Mega Man came out. And I'm not going to draw him very well either. But that's all right. For 88, I put Apollo. Now, the reason why I put Apollo, or I'm going to put Apollo shoes, because that's the length of time it takes for Mercury to go around the sun. It takes 88 days. So I'm going to use that. For 89, I'm having trouble with this one too. Cross that out. For 90, actually, you know what 89 is. I put a T-square, like they do in drawing. Because, well, if you're reading this uncensoredly, that's SR71 square, okay, 89. For 90, I think in 90 I put a baseball field. Because I believe that's how many feet it is from one base to another. Is that right? So I put 90 for baseball. 91, I put a riot for the LA riots. I believe they happened in 1991. Or I could put another torch, maybe. 92, I put a castle. Now I'm really showing my age. For 1982 Olympics were in Barcelona, and I always think of castles in Barcelona. Okay, 93. I had trouble with this one. I crossed it out because I don't remember. 94. I had trouble with this too. So 95 put for thesis. Because of Martin Luther. With his 95 thesis. Or essay or something of that sort. Okay, 96 tears. That was from a song. And I'm not drawing a teardrop too well. 97 put Spampton because he was best salesman in 1997. I'm not drawing him too well either. All my characters look kind of creepy. For 98, I'm going to cross this one out. I don't remember 98 too well. 99 is a ball of beer. 99 balls of beer. You could even put a note inside it. And 100, I'm going to put a penny. Because there's 100 cents in a penny, and a dollar. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot of them I skipped. A lot of them I don't know. And you can keep going on with these. And what you can do is you could add these together. You could add these, and you could go to what I mentioned here, is that if you have trouble in drawing, instead of drawing this, which is dueling, which is hard, you could go ahead and put some few numbers here. So not necessarily you have to use these. You can go from the list of this. And then you could go ahead and you could decide if you want to draw, you don't know what to draw. You could go ahead and just explain what you want. So